Hey, what is going on guys, this is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the best build for Faramir in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight in. Okay guys, so Faramir, son of Denethor, brother to Boromir. Well, he's a pretty interesting character because you can build him two ways. You can actually build him for mixed commander damage plus army damage, or you can build him for pure command damage. So it's kind of it's kind of up to you which one you want to do. So for this build, I'm going to be giving you the commander damage build because I just feel that it's a bit better and more effective than just going for the mixed army / com damage. So yeah, anyway, let's get into this. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what gear do you want to use on him. Well, for Faramir, you're going to want to use might gear plus some focus, okay, because his one skill that he has is modified by your focus stat, and so that if you do have some extra focus, that's pretty helpful. But the biggest thing you'll be looking at is might, because that's going to help increase his commanded damage as well as the damage that his army does. So in terms of gear, you're going to want might gear, and in terms of like whether you want to focus at melee, range, etc., that is completely up to you, okay? Because if you want to go with a build like, maybe using a bunch of guardians or guards of the tower or something, and then have a bunch of sentinels or march wardens depending on faction, that can work out. It's completely up to you whether you want to just go full tanks or you want to mix it up and go tanks with some archer support. And if you do obviously have some archer support, you may want to get gear that it increases range, damage, etc. So gear, I'm pretty much going to leave the choice up to you. You can choose gear based on what army you're going with, but you do want to try get gear that does focus on increasing his might. Like I'm using the Haradrim bow, a hunter's coat, so both of that gives might. I have a Haradrim scarf which gives might and focus, which is helpful, and I have a harp of Lothlorien which gives him some extra focus. Though obviously this is not what I really use in combat. If I was using Faramir, because I don't really use him, I would probably go with something like a cutlass, or I would go with an Axe of Khazad Doom, because that gives a lot of might. And then in terms of coat, I would probably give him a Scout's Mail, because that will give him might and speed, and might obviously will increase his damage. Speed will allow him to hopefully outspeed some other commanders. In terms of helmets, honestly, I'm not sure. I would probably give him something like, my Iron Bassinet or something like that. Or actually, yeah, I'll probably give him an Arnor Cask, because this will increase his might and focus. And then you could actually run him with a bunch of knights if you want. And if you have Blinding Barrier maxed out, that will be pretty nice, because then you can just run him with knights that have reduced focus burn and poison damage received. Anyway, let's go on to the actual skill build. We kind of got a bit stuck on the equipment over there. So in terms of the skills, well, he's obviously got Last Steward in the bottom for his R0, which is absolutely useless for combat. This is only for using him for tips, and its sub skills are Inquisitive and Leader, nothing that you actually want to use. So the only skills we're going to be looking at is his top R0, his R3, and his R5. And today's build, you're going to be using, I'm going to be having 57 skill points. And if you do have max imparted wisdom on him, you will have an extra 4 skill points, giving you a total of 61 skill points. Otherwise, you will have 57, 5 from respect level 5, and 52 from being level 50, plus 2 points from him being a balanced commander. So yeah, let's get to the actual allocation of points. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to max out ranges of Ithilien. So let's go and max this out. And we're going to get that to 15 out of 15. Ranges of Ithilien, it's against one enemy unit, deals about 480% damage maxed out, I believe. No, 330% physical damage. And the round after that, all your units will gain initiative. It also has Rush, which means it will activate on round 1 and then again on every third round. Next, we're going to max out Flanking. Flanking is a nice skill that just allows you to deal damage against one enemy target. However, it does prioritize ranged units. So if you're versing someone who has just got a bunch of ranged units sitting behind the tanks, Flanking is going to go and wipe out a good bunch of those. Next, we're going to max out Rush. And Rush obviously has Rush, so it will activate on round 1, and then it will activate on every other round after that. Now, you have 28 skill points left, and obviously you could max out Air if you want, but for today's build, we're not. We're going to max out Guide instead. So Guide is going to give your army stun immunity for the first 2 rounds, and it's also going to increase the damage dealt by your army by 45% for the first 2 rounds. And the reason we're going to go with this is because it also has a sub-skill that deals damage, so that is something that we want, and that is Armed Escort. And Armed Escort has the added bonus of also recovering health. So it's going to both deal damage and it's going to recover health for your units. So we're going to have Guide maxed out there, and we're going to have Armed Escort maxed out, which deals 140% physical damage, and one allied unit recovers 90% HP. The effect is modified by your focus stat. And now we have 6 more skill points, okay? Though for any of you guys using Faramir that have max imparted wisdom, you're going to have 10 more skill points at this point. So if you're fighting a lot of Gil-galads, or commanders where pursuit is going to help you, then you can put your last 6 skill points into foresight and get it to 6 out of 7. Or if you have an extra 10 skill points, you can max this out 7 out of 7 and then put your last 3 skill points into air. It's up to you. However, if you're not really going to go up against commanders that require pursuit, or where you require pursuit to take out their evasion, then you're just going to dump all your extra skill points into air and get your defense of your units stacked up a little bit, because that's going to allow them to take reduced damage and hopefully survive longer. So this is the build that I gave you: 15 out of 15 into ranges of Ithilien, 7 out of 7 into flanking, 7 out of 7 into rush, 15 out of 15 into guide, 7 out of 7 into armed escort, and then 6 points into air. Or if you do have 10 points by having max imparted wisdom, you can put 10 points into air. Or if you do need pursuit, because it's something that you need against a bunch of Gil-galads you're facing, then you put 7 into foresight and you dump your remaining 3 points into air if you have that 10. Or if you only have 6, you put 6 into foresight and you get it to 6 out of 7. So yeah, that is going to be the Faramir build. So just to quickly recap everything we talked about this video. So first things first, for Faramir, the gear you're going to use is might based gear. That's going to upgrade his commander damage as well as the damage of your army. If you do have something that gives might and focus, that is also not terrible, because that's pretty great because of the one skill of yours that does have its effect modified by your focus stat. So you're going to want to try get might based gear. I would probably go with something like the Axe of Khazad Doom, just based on what I have available right now. So I'd probably go Axe of Khazad Doom or Carver, depends on which one, though with a different effect. And then I would go with something like Scout's Mail, just to increase his speed and his might. And then I would go with something like the Honor Case, which gives might and focus. And then for your accessory, you're going to go with something that gives you might. So something like a Night Star would be great, because it gives you might, it gives you focus, it gives you speed, and if you have something like Tactical Mark, it will give you pursuit. So that's an amazing thing to have. You got pursuit, you can automatically counter any Gil-galads or anything you come across. In terms of skill build, you're going to want to put 15 out of 15 into ranges of Ithilien and max that out. That's going to give you 330% physical damage against one enemy unit. It will activate on round 1 due to rush, and then again on every 3rd round after that. And it will also give all your allied units the round after it activates initiative. You're going to want to put 7 out of 7 into flanking, which will give you 480% physical damage against one enemy target. It does prioritize range units, which is nice for people that are using March Wardens or Noldo Longshots, or just a bunch of Sentinels sitting behind their tanks. You're going to next want to max out Rush, which will give you 240% physical damage against one enemy unit, and it's going to activate on round 1 and then on every other round after that. Finally, you're going to want to max out Guide, 15 out of 15 there, which is first 2 rounds. All your units will be doing an additional 45% physical damage, and your entire army will gain stun immunity. You're finally going to want to max out Armed Escort, which is 140% physical damage against one enemy unit on every other round, and it will also recover 90% HP for one allied unit, and that effect is modified by your focus stat. Finally, if you only have 6 points left, you can put them into foresight if you require pursuit, or you put them into air if you do not. If you do have 4 extra skill points from having max imparted wisdom on your Faramir, then you can max out foresight if you need the pursuit for 7 out of 7 and put the remaining 3 into air. Or if you do not require pursuit, then you put all 10 into air, and that just increases your defense of your units, and it stacks every round. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.